Decluttering can be a challenging task, especially for those with ADHD or women who are in the throes of the menopause. And certainly my own concentration completely disappeared out of the window and never returned. This video will help you. Are you tired of clutter taking over your home? As a decluttering expert with 7 years of experience as an interior designer with my own successful business, I often had to tackle the clutter in clients' homes before I could redesign them to be the stylish, practical spaces they desire most of all. When it came to decluttering, I've seen countless people, including myself, struggle with common mistakes that slow us down during this process. Today I'm revealing 5 tactics you need to declutter your home faster and reclaim your space. In fact, I tried out one of these tactics myself today and it was successful. I am so pleased. I got so much done. And it wasn't even a decluttering day for me, but it worked. So stick around and I'll tell you. And it'll work even if you have ADHD or perhaps are in the grips of the menopause. And I know I'm nearly 68, but I changed when I got the menopause and I've never actually changed back. I prefer to call myself quirky. I don't want a label of ADHD. I prefer the term quirky. And yes, quirky will do for me. Thank you very much. I don't know about you, but sometimes, well, since the menopause, I certainly can't concentrate to read a book. I flit around my home doing 1,000,001 tasks and often not completing half of them. And I have been busy from maybe 4:30 in the morning until late at night. And sometimes, since I started this decluttering thing, because I'm postmenopausal, I have found it really difficult. It's because I have to make these videos, so I'm accountable. But it has shown me a side of myself that I never appreciated before. Who would have thought? Anyway, I did do a declutter this week. There were times when I used the "if it were covered in dog poo, would I throw it away" thing. And curiously enough, I did do that, but I didn't throw out as much as I thought I would. I mean, I threw out a lot, but I'm going to have another go at it because there are certain things that I kept. For example, this hat. This hat I made because I used to do millinery. I mean, obviously, this girl has endless talents. Well, I did have once. I made this hat, handmade it, for my father. And when I gave it to him, it was his size because he had a large head. When I gave it to him, he said, "No, I don't want it." Now, a handmade hat is not made in a couple of hours. It takes days to make something like this. And I don't know, I felt so let down. He knew I was making one. And yet, at the end, he said, "No, I don't want it." So I kept it. and I kept it in a hat box. And then after my declutter, I pressed it and followed the fur. It's a good quality hat, and I made sure that it was nice. And I thought, why am I keeping it? Do I need to be reminded that actually he didn't want it? When push came to shove, he shoved it. So it's now in a lovely condition again after it's being stored, and I'm going to give it to the girls for the next cardboard sale. It's going to be wrapped in cling film to keep it clean, and they will be the beneficiaries of the money they perhaps will get for it, and somebody out there with quite a large head will have a handmade hat that was lovingly made and then callously rejected. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't pick it up if it was covered in poo. I'd have chucked it, but it's not covered in poo, so it's going to get recycled. That said, here are 5 tips that will help you with a severe deficit of concentration, as Katie put it last night when talking about me. Hey, yes, I know, I don't want to label, but that's what she said about me. I have a severe deficit. You have a severe deficit of concentration, Mum. And I have to say, I did burst out laughing because I thought, yeah, that's about right. And she said, but you are capable of being hyper-focused. And yes, I am, because I made a little thing that will be in this video that pops down and says, will you subscribe? And that I was up doing that for myself and a friend of mine until 2 a.m. one morning. I mean, honest to God. But when you see that, you'll know what I did. So I am capable of being hyper-focused. I do have a severe deficit of concentration, but that makes me quirky, and I'm good with that. So the first one is start small. Choose a small area or category, or tackle a cupboard or something like that, a single drawer or a section of a wardrobe or closet, as you say in the States. Breaking it down into manageable parts can prevent you feeling overwhelmed. And what is more, you'll see the progress quicker. I, this morning, went into my utility room, my washroom, and that is often a source or a site of devastation when I've been busy doing the washing. I have to treat all the stains that the grandchildren make, well, especially Lily, she's a little mud magnet. And I have to treat all the stains, and then I scrub them and I soak them and I do this and do that, and eventually that room looks like a bomb has hit it, and frankly it did this morning. So I looked at it and I didn't want to go in there. So I set my timer on my smartwatch. It's got a timer, it's got 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5, 10, 20 and 30. And I tell you, it is so handy. And when it goes off, it sounds like birds. So I did that for 3 minutes. I mean, obviously I thought it was quicker than I was. Set it for 3 minutes, and I quickly picked up everything, wiped the surfaces down, shoved it all the bits that I had, into the cupboards in that room, because I'm going to declutter them. And I will film that. So obviously 3 minutes, I wasn't that quick. I had to add another minute. That got me a little bit further, but I still had to add, in total, it was 6 minutes. But afterwards, the room looked so much better. I was dead chuffed. And so I thought, I'm on a roll here. And I went to my next site of, what can I call it? My next surface of putting things down that I will do later. I'll deal with it later. So the dining room table is one such area. I constantly have my computer there where I do a lot of YouTubing and YouTube research and learning stuff. And there's all sorts of pieces of paper all over the place and pencils and, extraneous stuff that really doesn't belong there. And I set it for 5 minutes this time. I was being a little more realistic. And I started tidying up and I put things where they're meant to go. I didn't just shove them all in one big heap in the cupboard somewhere, some sort of glory hole. I shoved them into places they are meant to be that will need tidying in another video. So that was fabulous. So I did that and I cleaned the table and I was definitely on a roll. Then I found the area in my hallway, it's a radiator cover, and we put our keys there and bits and bobs out of our pockets. I set that for 3 minutes. Yeah, I did it in 3. So that's 3 areas that, I don't know, just gave me a lift. It stopped my mind from feeling like I was a failure. So that certainly works. So the second tip is set a timer. Use a timer to create a focused work session. I've just told you it works. Start with just 5 or up to 10 minutes. Don't do 3 because nobody can work that quickly. And then take a short break. I didn't take a short break, but it doesn't matter. This structured approach helps you maintain your focus and it makes decluttering feel less daunting, and frankly, it makes you feel a bit of a clever clogs and a success. 3, use the 4-box method. Label 4 boxes: keep, donate, sell, and rubbish bin. And the last box is going to be called I'll think about it. Because by the end, those are probably the bits that you really have to dig deep and think, dog poo, will I pick it up? Will I wipe it down? Although I did ask my hairdresser that, and she said she would. I mean, she's hardcore, definitely hardcore, and I told her so. So sort items into these boxes as you go. This method helps you make quick decisions and keeps the process organised. So all that stuff that you've already put in your rubbish bag can go straight into the bin, can't it? 4, establish a decluttering routine. Yeah, that'll do. Doing little and often is the key. Try to set aside a specific time each week or even each day. I'm thinking that I might do it as I am waiting for my coffee to brew first thing in the morning when my darling boy is still in bed. So whilst I'm waiting for the coffee to brew and the milk to be done in the microwave, I will do a 3-minute tidy in the kitchen. I'm just so good. Try to set aside a specific time each week for decluttering, even if it's just for a few minutes. Regular scheduled check-ins will keep you in line and it'll make your house tidy. Number 5, find an accountability partner. I mean, not somebody actually that's going to hold you over the coals, not for having not done it. I mean, you do want to be nagged, do you? But someone you can text and say, look at this, I've done it. And they have to then applaud you, send you some little clappy hands or something, because, that's part of the contract, isn't it? Well, it will be with me anyway. Having a friend or family member join you can make the process far more motivating. I mean, you don't want to tell them you haven't bothered today, do you? It's only 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, we can do that. Then they can help you keep focused. They can provide encouragement, and they can help with making decisions. Actually, the final decision will rest with you, unless they burst out laughing when you try and address or an item, and they laugh and laugh and laugh until they're sort of sick or anything. And then you realise that actually it doesn't suit you, so you must chuck it. That would be a sign, wouldn't it? Remember, it's important to be kind to yourself throughout this process. Celebrate small victories with a very large chocolate cake. No, actually that was a joke. But, whatever works. And allow yourself breaks when needed. I do hope that this has been of help. And can I ask you, before I go, would you please be a darling and subscribe if you think you've got any value at all from this video? It would help me to grow this channel, and I'm terribly excited about it.
Now, whilst you're watching this video, you might be thinking, good Lord, she really does work quickly, and I wish it was so, but actually, it took me 2 days to do this room, and I am just pleased that it's done and dusted, because, quite frankly, I got really tired. Having said that, there are still some hats that I'm going to revisit, and certainly some bags on those shelves that really do need to go because I haven't used them in a couple of years. But the ones on the radiator cover, I consider those little works of art. And in fact, I did repaint them, and I did recondition the flowers that are on the front, so they're definitely staying. I hope you enjoyed the video. Lots of love. Bye.
And if you help me, thanks for watching. Goodbye.